Welcome to White County 4-H Chick Chain Clinic. How to raise chicks into healthy pullets. Why 4-H Chick Chain? It is a fun 4-H project where you get the opportunity to learn about and care for chickens. Your family will enjoy the wonderful eggs that your hens will produce. This project will help you learn about poultry production and management through your experience. It will also help you produce healthy chickens, develop an awareness for business, by keeping records of project costs and income, help you develop a sense of responsibility and the importance of responsibility, and of course, think of how proud you'll be once you've accomplished this project. And last but not least, the wonderful smiling faces that I get to see when my 4-H'er comes to pick up their baby chicks. Baby chicks require lots of tender loving care. It will be your responsibility to feed, water, and care for your birds daily. They will depend on you for all of their needs. The brooding period lasts about 6 weeks. If you practice the following management factors during this period, you should have a healthy flock. So let's talk about space. Each chick should have 1/2 square foot or more of floor space for the first 4 to 5 weeks. As they get older, egg layers will require 2 square feet of floor space per bird. Draft-free ventilation. An adequate amount of air movement through the poultry house is important. It supplies the birds with oxygen, prevents the buildup of carbon dioxide and ammonia, which in excess can be very harmful, and of course it helps regulate temperature. Good ventilation is also needed to keep the litter dry and to help control disease. And although ventilation is necessary, it is also very important to keep the chicks away from draft. Light. For the first 48 hours, give your chicks 24 hours of light or until they are able to find their waterers and feeders. After that, take advantage of natural daylight. Temperature. Young chicks are unable to maintain their body temperature without an additional heat source. So make sure that you have the proper heat lamp available. Here are some examples of chick brooders that you can easily construct or build at home out of inexpensive material or items that are laying around the house that you are not using at the moment. All of these brooders are just as effective as the expensive brooders you would purchase at a co-op or Tractor Supply or any other feed store. Once you have your chick brooder ready to receive your baby chicks, remember it is important to keep them nice and warm. The chart on the right has the recommended temperature by age of chicks. Please follow these guidelines. Now that you know the correct temperature you need to keep your baby chicks nice and warm, let's talk about the heat lamp and heat lamp bulb. The second picture has a heat lamp that I prefer to use. It has metal guards, and in the event that your heat lamp falls into your chick brooder, these metal guards will help prevent your shavings from catching on fire. The heat lamp bulb here is a 250 watt infrared lamp bulb. These bulbs are made out of hard glass and have built-in reflectors. These hard glass lamp bulbs are less likely to shatter in the event water splashes on them. Your heat lamp can be bought at any local co-op store or feed store. The heat lamp bulb you can find at any store that has a wide variety of bulbs for sale. Once you have your heat lamp ready to go, suspend your heat lamp about 18 inches above the floor. Be sure it's on an adjustable chain and watch your chicks carefully to see if they are comfortable. If you look at the chart diagram, if your baby chicks are huddled together, you know that the temperature is too cold. If they are scattered to the outer edges, it is too hot. If they're clumped together on one side of your brooder, there is a draft. And if you see them milling around your brooder, happy-go-lucky, you've got the temperature just right. Now remember, you can adjust the temperature of the brooder by raising or lowering the heat lamp. So if you're raising the heat lamp, the temperature is going down. If you are lowering your heat lamp, you are making it hotter, so the temperature will rise. Also, it's a good thing to place a couple of thermometers in the brooder. That way you can keep track of the temperature. And of course, the one I use the most is to watch my chicks carefully. They will let me know for sure whether it's too hot or too cold. Baby chicks grow so fast, we want to make sure that we have a shelter prepared, ready to receive them once they've outgrown the chick brooder. This shelter must protect them from the weather. It has to keep out rodents, wild birds, and large animals, especially predatory animals. And the housing doesn't need to be elaborate or expensive. Here are several examples of hen houses. I have used the dog kennel for my hen houses, and it has worked out perfectly. Remember, your hen house does not have to be expensive or elaborate. Bedding and litter. Remember to cover the floor of your pen with at least 3 inches of clean, dry litter. Wood shavings such as pine shavings is most popular. Stir the litter frequently to keep it dry and loose, and every now and then add fresh litter until it is about 4 to 6 inches deep. The bedding or litter can be purchased at any store that has pet supplies. Let's talk poultry nutrition. This is minimum protein, calcium, and phosphorus requirements for pullets and laying hens. For the chicks, you will feed them a starter ration from the very first day and keep them on starter until they reach 6 weeks of age. The starter diet has the most protein. As the birds mature, they need a lower percentage of protein and higher level of energy. Once the chicks reach 6 weeks of age, give them a grower diet. Feed the pullets grower diet until they reach 20 weeks of age or until the pullets start to lay eggs. When egg production begins, feed them the layer ration. The most common mistake made is feeding the wrong feed. Do not give your chickens scratch grain or table scraps. Do not mix the complete commercial ration with scratch grains. Cracked corn, for example, is low in protein. By mixing cracked corn with a complete commercial grower ration, you reduce the protein level as well as the vitamin and mineral content of the diet. The birds will not grow as well. They will be less resistant to disease, and the birds will pick and eat their feathers to try to compensate for the missing protein. Feather picking will lead to cannibalism. As you can see on the slideshow, there's different forms of feed. You have the crumbles and you have the pellets. Of course, we will be using crumbles for the chick starter. We also have medicated and non-medicated feed, as well as non-GMO feed. The second most common mistake made is not feeding enough. During the first 20 weeks, you can expect each dual-purpose type pullet to eat about 20 pounds of feed. This chart tells you the amount and kind of feed required for 25 pullets by age. If you've only got 1 dozen chicks, then you will cut the amount and kind of feed in half, serving only 12 pullets. Be sure your flock has easy access to feed and water. When selecting waterers and feeders, keep in mind that chicks grow very fast, and feeding and watering space and the size of the equipment need to increase to meet their needs. Make sure the bird always has plenty enough to eat. Never fill the feeders more than half full, otherwise you will be wasting feed and money. In this slide, you have several different shapes and sizes of feeders. They can be purchased at a local co-op or feed store, or as in the picture on the left, you can make your own feeders out of PVC pipe. Water is the cheapest nutrient, yet it is often the most neglected. Water softens the feed and aids digestion. It serves as a carrier of waste products, is involved in temperature regulation, and acts as a lubricant in body tissues. Give day-old chicks 8% sugar water to drink for the first day by mixing 1.5 cups of sugar per 1 gallon of water. Be sure that that water is lukewarm. The sugar water mixture serves as a quick and easy to use energy source for thirsty chicks. In no time, your chicks will develop both a scratching and roosting behavior, which can lead to feed being scattered over the litter and to having droppings in the feed and water if the birds are permitted to perch on the waterers and the feeders. So be sure that as your chicks grow, you are elevating your waterers and your feeders to reduce the amount of droppings in their food and their water. And always, always make sure that their feed is clean and their waters are clean. Disease prevention. The first step in raising chickens is to start with healthy chicks. Then it is up to you to provide clean, comfortable housing and equipment for your birds. Keep feed in an airtight container and rodent free. Provide a secure home to prevent predators from entering the coop. Remove any sick or dead birds from the flock immediately after they are found. Prevent cannibalism and feather picking by providing the following: ample space per bird, nutrients, ventilation, sufficient water and food, enough light, and to treat any injured bird. The appearance of blood on an injured bird will lead to picking. Earlier I stated you had the option of buying medicated feed. Poultry feeds that are medicated are used to prevent or treat disease. The two most common medications added in low doses to feeds are coccidiostats and/or antibiotics. Young chickens intended for laying eggs are susceptible to coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is a disease of the intestinal tract. Birds having this disease may appear sleepy, pale, ruffled, and unhealthy looking. They may also have bloody droppings. In addition to medicated feed, other supplements such as probiotics and electrolytes can also be administered to your flock to promote good health. Electrolytes give that extra boost of energy and health during hot summer months. Probiotics help beneficial bacteria grow quickly in the digestive tract and aid in digestive health. If you decide to feed your flock medicated feed, be sure to feed them medicated feed up through 16 weeks of age. Then you can replace that feed with non-medicated feed. Always remember to read the labels on medications and always follow the instructions before you administer them to your flock. All right, I think I've given you enough information. You're well on your way to be good caregivers to your baby chicks and to raise healthy young pullets. Have fun with this project, and I hope that your family will enjoy the good tasting and nutritious food that your hens will produce. I look forward to seeing you at our 4-H poultry show and auction, late September or early October, this is where you get to show off all of your hard work. Based on how many dozen you have, you will bring back your best 3 or 6 birds to the auction, where they will be shown and they will be judged. Remember, at any time during your 4-H chick chain project, you are welcome to contact us for any questions or concerns regarding your baby chicks or your young pullets. I look forward to seeing you standing underneath the poultry barn at the White County Fairgrounds. Good luck and have fun raising those baby chicks.